And I am live and alive in the land of enchantment. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Feels like I've been gone a while in this wonderful land of enchantment we call New Mexico. Welcome. Let me know you're here. Let's give it a few minutes to welcome our group, our cherries. I'm super excited about the show tonight and glad to be back after a very interesting, incredible, enlightening, awakened, and certainly eye-opening class of level 2 certification this weekend. This is quite the deck. This is quite the certification. And I have to say that I realize, as everyone has said so many different things about Second Helpings deck, that it really brings out all the energies of action, movement, deep introspection, perspective. And so we're going to definitely be working with this deck tonight and cluing into the elements and how this time on the planet is calling forward you to be your best stewards and to be your best self and to not settle, not to do any of the things that have held you back from being in your truth and from being in the truth of who you are, bok choy. I'll be referencing a lot of those, but the topic tonight is mastering your elements. And interestingly, when you do have an element that's out of balance, and we'll talk about what those are, there's so many ways to counteract them, to bring them back into homeostasis. And when you have, like me, someone who's been around the elements my whole life, studying them, being them, experimenting with them, you get to see in others how quickly where somebody is at in their element. And so it's a wonderful way once you dive deeper into that. And then if you're doing it for a client or you're doing it for a family member, working with these cards, which are feeding the body temple, you get to truly master those elements inside. So we're kind of going to go down that journey a little bit tonight. And hi, Denise, Janae, Lisa. And thanks for being here. And Denise, thank you so much. Denise was so great. She was in our level 2 certification this weekend. And Lisa, you have something to look forward to for sure. I don't know. It's just, I love all of this. But someone said, how and why are you interested in the elements? Because not everyone really, we talk about it, but not all the time. Of course, I bring it up with food. Hey, Amy. And I can say, and I've probably shared that with a few people, but I'm going to put on here, hey, Tony, how I got fully obsessed as a child with the elements. Yeah. Anybody with me? So I have been an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan since I was a kid. And every album cover, every concert I went to was so larger than life. Their costumes and the big dramatic concert stage performances with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, really, they had me from the word go. And I've always just been fascinated by the power of spirit and the elements. So I don't know. You can let me know in the chat if any of you are, Earth, Wind, and Fire fans. So I think that I have always been not only Earth, Wind, and Fire, but for those who came to our wedding, but my husband and I, that was the theme of our wedding. And if you're familiar with the Chinese I Ching, how many of you know about the I Ching? Hey, Susan. That is also based on elements, just like many things, right? You look at feng shui, Ayurvedic principles, tarot, or there's elements pretty much in everything. And so I've always gathered the elements. And at our wedding, we had earth, air, fire, water, spirit, but they were all in I Ching symbols. And those were we had them hand painted, and they were the centerpieces. I wish I still had them somewhere on everyone's. And then we had sun and moon, and it was just so cool. And anyways, that was that. I do what? Oh, I love them. Yes, I do. I don't even know what that means, Susan, but yes, I love whatever you love. So there you go. So tonight I thought what we would do, and by the way, I want to post this before I forget. Look in, hey, Shelly, this is the YouTube channel link. And this is a meditation for those of you who've been around our cherries for a long time now. You will know that the nature meditation I did back on our very first album of Gulf Coast Meditations. Denise Flood, who's here, she's on several of our albums, but we did a 5-album series, meditations recorded and produced by my husband. And he did the music, I produced the records, but we had Gulf Coast Meditations, and we had Awaken the Spirit Within, and then we had chakras and abundance and sleep and kids, not in that order. But the album Awaken the Spirit Went In was our first album, and it went #1 for hot new releases on Amazon. We were so proud. And it's a compilation of like 13 or 14 different topics. In any case, Nature is the one I did on that album that went #1, and I'm sending you the free link to listen to it. So you can't listen to it. You can't over listen to it because when things come up in your life, you can always go back to remember your power and where you have felt powerless, where you felt disempowered, where you feel empowered, and where you feel powerful, because nature is almighty powerful, right? We know Mother Nature, she's a badass. And she can get pissed off, right? Look at those fires and hurricanes and tornadoes and all earthquakes. She's a force. And so we honor Mother Nature, right? Volcanoes. I'm trying to think of all these things. Tsunamis. It goes on and on. But Mother Nature is also kind and loving and patient. And those are also all aspects to us. We could probably be fiery and emotional and full of water and full of fire. And then times where we're kind and loving. So it's really finding those balances. And that's what nature teaches us. And I've shared that a lot, and I'll be sharing that in our upcoming book, the chapter I wrote in, and I'll be announcing more of it soon, but I'm part of a collaborative book called The Energy Healer's Oracle. And I talk about that as well as in the book and also in our certification courses, that we are nature by nature, that this beautiful body temple that we are walking around in is housing our soul. And that is so important to realize that. So if you thought about nothing else from this community, think about the fact that this body temple should be so sacredly taken care of, because it's housing all who we are, all we've been, all we will be, right? This unbelievable energy force that we are when we leave these bodies and before we came in. But right now we're being borrowed in the bodies. So let's treat the bodies with the highest and most respect, and the foods that will do that. And so in the Second Helpings book, we talk about, and you can actually, and in the first book we do too, but we went a little deeper in the second book, and we listed not only the foods that feed the chakras, but foods that feed the elements. And so at the beginning of the book, on page 6 and on, you will see that we talk about earth, and earth being our bones, and air being our breath, and fire being our energy. So just take those, and water being our blood and the water in our body. And of course, our soul is our spirit. But really think about that. Earth, our physical bones that keeps us here on the planet. And then the air, right? What we breathe, how we breathe, how we need to breathe more, slow ourselves down, have that meditation time, that time to really breathe in what someone has said or done, or what you plan to do or be, and really take in that if our body is nature and we're nature, we better start feeding it according to nature. So that isn't what's microwaved, and that certainly isn't the ingredients that have foods that you can't even pronounce and chemicals you don't even know what they do, why they do, and how they're preserving what. The food, not your body. Your body is like going like this, going, I don't understand this one or that one. And so it kind of stops all energetic production of breaking things down. So, yeah, that's kind of the whole platform around these books and around future books and around the Center for Intuitive Food Therapy, and how we as cosmic beings can integrate that higher wisdom with the physical form. And that's truly what this is all about. And if you didn't learn anything else from the decks or our IFT programs, intuitive food therapy programs, which you do learn a lot. We have a lot of people who come to these. Elements are the cornerstone to just about everything, including the chakra system, all of it, all of it. And so as everyone focuses on chakras, which the majority, I do too, but the majority of people spend a lot of time in sort of this esoteric world about chakras, I think less attention is being paid on nature. I think if we go out on a boat, or we go skiing on a mountain, or anything like that, if we're out in nature, going on a nature walk or spending time in the jungle, right? Good portion of us are all going to Costa Rica to really tap into the Earth Mother of that frequency. You get to be in nature, but be in nature now. Be in nature in this moment. And these cards are your guides. So, any questions about anything I've said so far? I will wait. I will wait to hear. I thought tonight that we can not only talk about nature, I'll give you a really quick little run through, and certainly ask questions, because it would be great for me to have you think about what is your predominant element. Are you a running hot, pitta, fiery, energetic person that stays in that red zone? Or are you more of a kind of quiet and cool person, allowing you to be more soft spoken? Where are you? Are you more in your head? Are you more planted on the ground? Are you a couch potato? Are you someone who likes to get things going? Where's your predominant element? Because once you know that, you can start attributing all the other factors that come to play that can rock your boat or shift the tide and take you into a different space. And food can help you get back to the energetic alignment of balance. Okay. So balance is our cucumber card from the first deck. And everything, or neutrality. If you had balance in the first deck, you have jicama, neutrality, coming back to center. Particularly if you've had an argument, you've had disagreement, and things got out of hand, how do you find the center? And so we're going to talk about all that today. And then I thought what we would do is, in the new deck, and we did all sorts of readings over the weekend, which were profound. But I wanted to incorporate our 5-element reading as a group here today. Just what is everybody feeling as a collective? And I'm sure we'll come up with the exact right, perfect question to ask these cards. But whoever's here, know that that's probably for you, because you're here, and that we can all glean something on that. And maybe, who knows what the cards come up, that maybe those are some food choices you can consider for dinner, or your next meal, or tomorrow's smoothie, or any of that. I mean, we have a smoothie book. Some of you know we're sold out on the hard copy, but we have the digital download. But Nourishing Wisdom Beyond the Blend, we actually have nature smoothies in there. You can actually go back and say, wow, okay, I think I really need more of an air smoothie or earth smoothie. We have all of them: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and all sorts of great recipes. Susan, what are you saying here? You are saying, oh my gosh, it's so small. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Nope, that didn't work. Hold on. I'm in the air, but I'm literally born on April 22nd, Earth Day, full Earth sign. Interesting. Yeah, I could see you being in the air. So I'd be curious to see if there's other parts of your astrological profile that are making that feel that earth element be a little differently than your air element. Do you know what the rest of yours are? And I'm no astrologer, believe me. Actually, we're going to have Jamie Bike on. She's she's one of our certified readers and an astrologer. And we are actually going to do an upcoming astrology class with the Food Healing Oracle deck. She has a whole take on food since she's become into our world. And by the way, incidentally, some unforeseen circumstances, but our April 29th class for crystals, that has been canceled. So if you did purchase, see me, I will be working on getting you a refund for that. And some of our other classes are coming up. So yes, the astrology one, I'm beyond excited. That will be coming up. And but anyways, I know some. Oh, Moon is in Virgo. Oh, okay. Well, God, that would explain it right there. Holy cow, I could totally see that. And so, anyways, we're going to be combining forces, talk about forces of nature, and bring to you astrology. So, Crystal's class is off the books. Our upcoming advanced theta healing class on May 6th is still going, with Dr. Cheryl Friedman and I talking about advanced theta healing to remove some deep-seated any beliefs that have been limiting stagnation inside the system, the temple, that absolutely don't serve you and need to go. So we're looking at probably clearing as a group collective. We'll get the registrations and we'll be able to tune in and shortly know what those belief systems are. But last time we did it, it really was a collective. And even our level 2 certification that we just did, those were all collective energetic cards that was just for that group and the group before. So we'll be clearing 40 beliefs, 10 emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. So if you have any questions about that, head over to the website. If you are brand new to us, June 23rd and 24th is our level 1 intuitive food therapy. Somebody wrote, I just saw it posted, integrated food therapy, which that's cool too. I think that might have been Tina Townsend. She was looking for readings, but it's intuitive food therapy, IFT. But integrated is cool too. I like that. But it's the official name, trademark name is intuitive food therapy. But we are doing a total integration, right? Anyone know offhand our integration card? I'll give you like 5 seconds. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I have to say, never mind, because in 2 seconds, this is what pulled out. This is our integration card, GAC fruit. How crazy is that? Not crazy at all. I was doing a reading with some friend today. I'm here in New Mexico, and spot on. And she asked me a question. Hey, have you ever pulled a card on this situation? Something going on. Oh my God, the exact card came up. And the only time I ever pulled it was one other time before. Same card pulled up. Crazy. All right. So here, let me get to these little pictures. I want to start with this, and then I want to see if anybody has any questions, and they will move in. Hey, by the way, Tony, I heard that you were doing readings out and about. Congratulations. Super cool. All right. Let's start here. I hope you can all see that okay. Let me just see if I can switch screens. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So you can see that? Okay, perfect. Let's start with Earth. This is just, honestly, a tiny snippet of this bigger conversation around it. Let me see if I can get back to that. Oop. Okay. So Earth is a big topic. It's filled with lots of things that are on the positive, sometimes on the negative, things that are in alignment, things that are out of alignment. But I just wanted you to just feel into this picture, what it feels like to be her sitting in front of a waterfall. Maybe I must have had Costa Rica in my mind because we will be at a waterfall and doing some sacred shamanic work. But we can all say beyond a shadow of a doubt when we're in nature, whether it's your choice to be out on water, on in a boat, or in the forest, or in the trees, or whatever it is, you go to nature to be grounded. As is the same as when we need foods that can ground us when we're feeling a little out of body, food will help us do that. Especially, when your blood sugar tanks and you haven't eaten in a while and you're on a fast or whatever, when you get that food in the body, it creates that sense of grounding, right? So food does that, nature does that, mindset does that, lots of things do it. But when we are connected, if you think of in terms of tarot, that would be the pentacles, like something tangibly fixed right into the mother. And usually earth people are very reliable. They tend to be pretty healthy. They're just they're connected into their body temple. They're not letting the body run them, but they're running the body. There's a sense of confidence, and there's just this overall sense of trust. I think when someone is really in their earth element, you can actually trust them. And so, anyways, there's all sorts of sides to the earth element. So when we're a little stuck in our earth element, we tend to be a little lazy. And I would think everybody would feel that way. So I don't know about you, but I used to say couch potatoes. I don't know, they still don't really use that expression anymore, but someone who's like way out of balance with their earth, they're stuck. They're a little lazy, couch potato. They don't really want to have the motivation to do anything. And when they're really balanced in their earth, they are really grounded and they're moving and grooving and everything's manifesting and things are happening and things are coming into fruition. They're landing into the physical, things that they've dreamt or created and brought into the ethers are now happening. So where are you on your earth element right now? Just in all honesty, put in the comments if you just had that take right there on earth, where you feel. Are you in your earth? Are you on the positive spectrum, or are you a little feeling out of balance with that earth? Because sometimes when you can't make decisions, that's more a little air, we'll get to that. But when we don't want to move, we're afraid to move, like people who don't even want to leave their house, they're scared. Oh, those are all people who are having a hard time with the earth. People who are manifesting and killing it out there, they're really good at their earth right now. So where are you at with your earth? And then we're going to move on. Go ahead and put that in the chat. All right. So earth, what comes next is air. So take a look at this one. Air. I love air. I'm a little bit all of them, and I think we're all a little bit of all of them. But air, as Susan was saying, is definitely more of in the brain, in the mindset, in the thinking, sometimes overthinking. You're a lot in your head and less in the earth, right? Think of Father Sky representing earth and Mother Earth representing Mother Nature. So we have Father Sky and Mother Earth. And in this regard, this is the brainiacs, the analyticals, the intellectuals, people who can have anxiety. That's just a lot of overthinking in the head. A lot, like, almost unable to make decisions. Like we have in our book, the procrastination card. That's the blackberries. That's someone who can't make decisions, are afraid to move. And so therefore they don't. So a lot of that happens when it's tough to make a decision that you want to. Those are people who are all hanging out in the air element. They're not bringing things down into the earth and physically manifesting them. Okay, it's all mental. So if you are looking at tarot, that'd be swords, foods. There are foods that really are in the air element, and there are foods that are earth foods that are definitely can ground you, like the root vegetables and things that you pull up from the ground. Tony, more on the positive side of earth. but not totally strong. I think getting stronger for sure. And what did you write, Amy? Yep, been getting blackberry card last few draws this weekend. So take a look at that because that's all here. That's almost all thinking about it. Like what what makes you feel grounded? When you have the blackberry card show up, it's saying, and you've read it probably in the book, what are you afraid of that's causing? It's all in here. What do you need to do to get you out of that bowl, right? Think of those blackberries and get you out into the world. What will ground you? Is it finding your community? Is it trying something new? Is it getting a new job? Is it moving to a new location? Is it doing more meditation? What will anchor you into earth? Because that's where things start to manifest. And we'll talk more about that in this certification class. So how many of you feel air? Because a good majority of people, when they come for readings, they're all in here, and we need to get them down into their heart and all the way down, kind of get them down into their root chakras. There's a lot of overthinking, decision making, worrying. Oh my God, worrying, although emotional, is definitely in the air element. Anyways, let me know if anyone else is in the air. Oh, wait, what Lisa wrote, air for me. Yeah. So in the book, you can actually go, okay, wow, I have a lot of air going on. What can I do to balance it out? You're in between, go down to the earth, look up the earth foods. All right, moving on. Let's go to water. Yes. Oh my God, that looks so fun. I have a friend, she's 55, 56, and she surfs every day in California. And every day she's posting her pictures. And this reminded me of her. She's a little older than this picture, but she's totally in flow. Like she is so embracing the water element. I just, every time I think of water, I actually think of her. Her name is Lori. But water is that emotional well-being, and it can also be your emotional detriment, especially if you're going through something very emotional, right? Like a loss or an upset or a disconnect. You know, a lot of emotions flow there. And you know what? I skipped fire. We'll go back to fire. I went to earth, air, and then water. Well, we'll go back to fire next. But anyways, the divine feminine is all about the water, just like Mother Nature is the divine feminine there. So everything having to do with abundance also is water as well as earth. But that abundance of receiving, that divine feminine, right? Water is that conduit, that connector. Our body's water, and being in water. I do a lot of channeling. Sometimes I put my feet in water and I can activate some downloads. I don't know if some people have different things. I used to go into the bathtub, and that's where actually I'd get all these messages. So water, and I'm a water sign, a Cancerian, that's a very strong intuitive piece for me. So, and water signs tend to be very emotional. So I don't know if there's water signs out there besides me. But water is so important. But when we have too much emotion going on, we need to counteract that with the fire. So let's get over to that. And if anyone is a water element, here, I saw Trish. I have to overthink this for a bit before I decide. That's funny. Definitely in water this past week. Pulled the feelings card 3 times. Yeah, it's interesting how things go because sometimes we have something come up for us in an element and then things start attracting to it like a magnet. It's like, oh my God, everything is coming. And you're like, why is everything hitting all at once? Sometimes that happens because this law of attraction is like attracting that vibration. So the quicker you could shift and recognize what element is showing up for you, the more you can quickly eat that food or counteract it or go into balancing it with one of the other elements. Because otherwise it just becomes a super attractor and more happens and more comes to it with like everything else. So we will be talking more about that in our upcoming 5-month immersion, which is going to happen in August. I want to show you, I skipped fire. I wonder why. I'll have to look at that. But anyways, earth, air, fire, and then water, which we just did. Well, fire, right? Oof, fire could be so destructive. So destructive. And doesn't it also give life, right? If we're looking at camping, we need to build a campfire. That is like, can be essential to existing life. In other case, too much fire can just burn a house down and and burn things. And we know how destructive fire can be, especially when we are in that fire element of anger or jealousy, rage. And then on the flip side, fire is those systems that is like that chakra, that kundalini, sexual energy and activation, passion, all that. And so there's, two sides to every coin, but it's balancing that fire element within you. And just, in terms of the body requires energy. It requires that fire element. Nothing in your body really works without a system burning fuel, creating energy to have any of your systems, reproductive, circulatory, endocrine, like vascular, your whole system requires energy for movement. And that comes from the fuel of our body. So let's put good energy, fire element foods in our body. That also will help tame that water element. So fire and water, air and earth. And then what do we have in the middle? Spirit, us, right in our heart, right in here is our soul. Denise, I am fire and have earth and water. No air signs. I wonder if you eat any air foods too. Well, here you, Denise, created the mindfulness meditation, and you do so many beautiful meditations. So, like, mindfulness is our T card, right, for calm. Well, black sesame seeds, but that creates the calm in me when I listen to it. So somehow you're getting that in there. All right, let's look at spirit. Where are you? Okay, cool. All right, there's the spirit card. So we are all of spirit. We know that. We've got spirit. Yes, we do. The divine essence of course, our soul. That's our connection to the divine, bringing it into the body, bringing it out to the world, being a healer, a teacher, a student of life and love and oneness. And just on the flip side, this is the brief overview. You can go so deep into all these topics. But anyways, that's where the shadow work comes in. When the shadow situations come up, those are all spirit too, wanting to get your attention, wanting to let you know there's a lesson to be had. There's something needs to be cleared. There's maybe something up leveling in your life. And so, so the spirit, and we have spirit foods. We have high vibrational foods that will actually go up into this higher realm, our crown chakra, our third eye, tap open to our pineal gland, right? We have the blue lotus card is our intuition card. There are inherent foods that already have a frequency that is high. And I mentioned this earlier on this week that mangoes, high, chocolate. That's why we have cacao ceremonies. Lots of foods that will open us up to greater expansion, right? Greater pineapple. And so when we start to work with foods, we start to work with the elements, we start to do many other things, not just foods. That's just one part of the overall prescription for wellness in terms of balanced nature. There's lots of things you can do. And I want to be able to teach you all of these things. So I used to teach this class 5 weeks long called The Elements, Mastering the Elements. And each week we spent a week, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. And that week, no doubt things were coming up for people relating to what's happening with you. Are you manifesting what you want to manifest? What's going on with conversations with your boss, with your husband, with your family? And air. And anyways, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. But I realized that that was just not enough time because there's so much to dive into this to actually see balanced living in everything that you do. And so I had been thinking now for a while on creating a much deeper program. And it's this container of 12 students where we kind of come together as this nature family and spend 5 months together online. And so it's going to start in August, and it's going to be August, September, October, November. And we'll be spending really 5 months of elements deeply immersed into foods and protocols and all sorts of things, from altars to color therapy to principles from all over. I'll be bringing in different speakers who can all touch on different parts to elemental living, some Ayurvedic work. It's going to be extraordinary, but let me just show you what the flyer is. And it's really about living life in true form, in true passion of who we are. And once you do, watch the miracles that go on. People leave your field, people enter your field, you up level, you get new offers in your life, you choose differently, you lose weight. Like all sorts of incredible magic happens when you start living according to nature's 5 elements. So I'm working on getting those details out. But we will be starting with earth in August, air in September, October is fire, water is November, and December is spirit. Wow, imagine that. And then you walk into 2024 like ready to rock. So if this remotely has interest to you, you let me know, and I can send you out information. We'll have it in the next little while. More details on the website, and it's a little bit of an application process and an interview, and because really we're spending 5 months together, and I look forward to those 12 people being in there and really shaking things up in your world and really diving into it. So anyways, let me know. Yes, I do my soul work, she says. All right, so the remaining time we have left, God, it goes so fast. Any questions about anything I just shared? Elements. I'm a little obsessed with them. Oh, we're going to be building altars. Oh my God, I have so much planned for that class. Anyways, I want to do a group reading. So I want to do the Nature's 5 Elements spread. It's in our new book. It's in the second helpings, and it's on page 21. And if you're up for that, here we go. Want to get the right topic though. Yes, more details. I'll be happy to get you some, Susan. Anyone have a topic they want to throw out, what this would be about? Nature's 5 Elements spread. We're going to find out where we are at as a collective group in our earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And I'm thinking there actually doesn't even need to be a question. We can actually just have each of you, when I read what the questions are, think about it for your own life. And that these cards are what the collective field that's here is actually presenting that you need to know. So, like for instance, we're going to pull the Earth card, and I want you to be thinking about a question that's important to you. And so your question, Denise, may be different than Trisha's or Susan's or Amy's or whoever's here. And oh yeah, I just seeing this, Trish. Thoughts flow for me in the shower. Same. Oh my God. I call them brain drizzles. I've been saying that for years. Like, oh, had a brain drizzle. And it's always in the shower. And sometimes the bathroom. And a lot of times when I swim, anytime around water. When I was in Costa Rica and I was swimming in that waterfall, I was just like having all sorts of like activations when I was on the water in the ocean there. Yeah. All right. Well, let's just take a moment and everyone think about what's important to you right now. What's pressing for you? What would you like to release? What would you like to clear? What would you like to manifest? What would you like to have more of? What would you like to release out of your world? Whatever it is, let this card reading be for you. And I look forward to seeing how it lands for you. I thought I saw, how funny. I thought I saw one of the number 1 card. Oh, I did. So I'm shuffling all these, right? I'm shuffling all these cards. And you can tell we made them the same size as the first card deck. But you can always tell because of the spoon, there's a little black, but we had a little stowaway in there. I wonder what the stowaway wanted to tell us. What? This just happened the other day. Expansion. All right. So, hey, we're combining decks. So let me just say with this, This group reading that we're doing on the elements may provide you infinite expansion. Thank you, deck number 1. All right. Here's our earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Every time I come back to New Mexico, I have such a deeper appreciation for the elements here. One is it's really dry. It's a desert, as you know. So I have a deeper appreciation of water. So when I go back to Florida, I'm like, oh, water, because everything's really dry here. But it's also so beautiful. I mean, it's so enchanted, and you can feel the palpable energies of the Native American land here. And so I just look around. I look at the mountains here. I look at Father Sky. They have beautiful skies here. And they really do look fiery at night. So I'm just really tapped in now. That's why it's another reason being here. It's perfect to do this class or this show. Let's do this reading. Before I do, I need to tell you that next Tuesday, not always the fourth Monday is dark with our show, because Tuesday we do our global Nourish Your Soul show. And I am so thrilled that we have Karen Noe with us. Who is Karen Noe? If you don't know, Hay House author, Beyond Words author. She's known as Dr. Wayne Dyer's psychic medium for Dr. Wayne Dyer's family. She's a psychic medium with a 2-year waiting list. She's an extraordinary being. Love her. And I interviewed her for the show. And so she will be on the Nurse Your Soul show on Tuesday. So I'll be sending out info, but mark your calendars. This is a show. Oh my God. We're pulling cards from her deck. She wrote an angel's deck, and it's so good. My husband and I use it all the time. And I just can't wait for you to see this interview. She has such good wisdom to share. And we even pulled the same card at the same time. Oh my God, because she had her deck with her. I had mine. Next Tuesday, interview with Karen Noe on the Nourish Yourself show. Okay, let me have a sip of water. Here we go. All right, angels. Thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you, Divine Holy Creator. Allow this reading to be of upliftment and support to all who listen in, feel into it, are here now, and who watch us later, allowing me to be a clear channel and guide. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to share your greatest truth and wisdom. So it is. All right. Have you thought about your question? What is the energy around manifesting your desire? So that would be earth, right? We're manifesting. So we're bringing it into the physical. So what is the energy right now that you need to know? And you all know what it is that you want to manifest and bring and that you desire. So the energy is Asiyai, devotion. So what is the energy? So to me, are you devoted to bringing it into fruition? Because something tells me that you have been working on it, you've been thinking about it, you want to do it, you want to make it manifest. Let's bring in Asiyai. Oh my God, I just can totally have an Asiyai bowl right now. That makes me so hungry. But I'll probably have it in the morning, because there are some things that I'm absolutely devoted to, which is the building of more wisdom for the Center Intuitive Food Therapy. Couple new upcoming books I'm working on. What are you working on right now? Because this is the time to devote to it. It doesn't happen out of nowhere. You got to put the elbow grease in. You got to do the elbow work. You got to put the energetic movement into it. Okay, so devote yourself to what you want and keep doing it. Get rid of everything else and stay the lane. Make sense? Hopefully you're giving that some thought. What is it that you want? So many times we dream it up in the head and it doesn't make it down into the body or into the physical. It doesn't become those pentacles. It's because we are thinking it, but we're not actually taking the step. So devote your time to what you want. That's what the off the eye card is telling you. Okay, number 2. We're now looking at the air element. That was earth. Now here's the air element. How is your mindset around the situation? So we're just saying to physically bring it in, you got to devote more time to it. And this is saying how is your mindset around the situation? So how is your mindset? And you get the perspective card. Chickpeas. So is your mind, which this is an air element card, it's perspective. How are you thinking about it? Are you thinking that you can do it? Are you thinking you can't do it? Are you thinking that'll never happen? Are you thinking that only happens to somebody else? How are you what perspective are you having right now on what you're devoted to? That is what's being asked. And already, so interesting, both cards have a spoon on them. Whoop. Okay, so this is a spoonful of wisdom. What are you devoted to, and what is your perspective around it? A lot of times we can think ourselves out from actually making something happen. You can think of all the reasons why it won't happen or can't happen or that'll never happen to me. Have you ever been in that mindset? Or are you of the mindset, I think I can, and then, the little train makes it to the top. Can you think yourself? It's all in the perspective. That's why we have a 4-card perspective. And I encourage you to think like, yes, I want this. And I'm going to think my way into actually doing that because I'm devoted to myself. I'm devoted to making a better life for my family. I'm devoted to having higher wisdom. Whatever it is, you are in control of that perspective, and don't let anyone take that from you. Yeah, good. Earth, air, fire. Okay, so we just talked about fire is that action, that element of keeping things moving that get the things going. So you know what you are devoted for. You're going to get a different perspective, the right perspective. Forget the negative perspective because you can. Nothing's impossible. Everything's possible. So let's see what the steps are needed to fire up a plan of action. Okay, we're now in the fire element. What steps are needed to fire up a plan of action? And you get the flexibility card, cauliflower. I think we're having cauliflower here tonight where I'm staying. Flexibility. So the plan of action is being flexible. There's more than just one path. Don't consider yourself like, I can't make this happen because of A. Well, maybe B and C need to show up first. Like you have to be flexible on timing, resources, how it's going to show up. Some people are like, I only want this if it's going to happen, this way. Well, maybe there's a third way that you don't even know. You have to be flexible. Okay. In our old deck, we would say that would be papaya. That would be flow. Here we're saying have some flexibility. Your plan of action is actually to be flexible. Okay. Engage in flexibility will get you further and a long way. All right. Any thoughts so far? We've got earth, air, fire, and now we're going to do water. What needs to flow to you? Okay, we're in the water element. What needs to flow to you regarding your desire? So this is having something come to you. Remember the girl on the surfboard? This is the water element. The girl on the surfboard is waiting for the wave to come to her. She's not doing anything but holding until she knows that that's the wave she wants to catch, and then she goes. She's waiting for it to come to her. So wait for it to come to you. So let's see what will help you, what needs to flow to you. Okay, water is that conductor. Susan even wrote that there. Allowing something to come to you to help you move forward with your devotion and what you want to manifest. This is what needs to come to you. You need to have some resilience flow to you. Yeah, so that means don't give up. Do you know that story where they say that somebody climbed all the ladders, the rings to the ladder, has been climbing, and then just said, screw it, I'm not going to climb. And it was that really that ring of the ladder. just took one more step or up the mountain, and everything showed up. So right now, oh, thank you, Patty. Right now, it's called resilience. That's what needs to flow to you. You need to have plums patience, and you definitely need to have some jackfruit resilience. So I'm looking at these cards here. It's like you have to be devoted, you have to have a good perspective, you have to be flexible, and you have to be resilient to get what you want, because Rome wasn't built in a day. So think about what it is that you want and employ all these. There's like such a perfect directive: devotion, perspective, flexibility, and resilience. And I'll post this. That's what you need. And then, of course, what is Spirit's overall message to you for this outcome? Oh my God. Mic drop. Movement. Oh my Lord. So you just got a wonderful reading on everything you need to do. And once you do it, you're going to see the movement that you want to manifest in the world. I love these cards. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me just show them to you. Okay. The wonder of the elements. All right. So we got devotion, earth. Your mindset is a perspective, chickpeas. Yeah. And by the way, start thinking of foods: earth, air, fire. You need to have engage some flexibility. Water, have some resilience with some jackfruit. And if you follow that, you will have the movement into the land of good plenty. Oh my God. That was so cool. Any thoughts to that? We have a couple more minutes. Oh yeah. And we of course had our little stowaway expansion. You'll have movement to expand into everything that you want. Any thoughts or questions on that? Oh my Lord. You're so quiet tonight. Well, you're always quiet because I can't hear you, but I can see you type something. So anyways, expansion into the land of plenty, right? Oh my gosh. I had to employ all of those things this week. Honestly, that was the reading for me this week too, because let me go pull those back out. I got to take a picture for you guys. Anyways, I had to be devoted to doing what I needed to do. I had a lot of things up against me, and then I had to stay devoted to, like, this is the plan. I came to New Mexico to accomplish these things. I had to have perspective because these were new things I had to conquer. I had to be resilient. Oh yeah, flexible. I had to definitely be flexible because things are out of my control, and I had to be flexible of when I can do and act what I needed. And I absolutely had to have resilience while being here on so many levels. And when I did all these things, I did have movement. Things have shifted, and I'm coming home back to Florida. So that'll be in a couple days. So I lived this week. This is like, thank you for the reminder. And I hope it made an impact on you as it did on me. Food for thought. Yeah, Amy, welcome to our cherries. Amy's kind of new to our whole world here, you guys. All right, well, I'll take a picture of this and I will post it in the group chat. And I'm going to just say that's a wrap. So just to recap, we've taken the crystals class off the book. We have our theta healing on May 6th. We have an astrology class coming up that I will list the date. We have our level 1 coming up. We actually have some level 2s, June 2nd and 3rd. That's already filling. And many more things. Again, next Tuesday, Karen Noe. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be sharing that interview with you, with her. And her angel book is just phenomenal. So thank you for everyone for being here tonight. I can't wait to see some of you in person. See you at one of our classes, teachings, certifications. See you wherever in Cherryland. Much love. Bye-bye.